I don't think it's saying there that means that it's okay if someone gives a false prophecy. I don't think that's any indication the test has changed. I actually think that's a demonstration of using the same test from the Old Testament, that you're still evaluating the prophecies.
Wondering in my mind if how would you say the Old Testament school of prophets like Elisha and Elijah show in their scriptures, if there might not have been a developmental aspect to people coming into being the prophetic office, and also maybe in the New Testament, such as 1 Corinthians 12 through 14, describing a spirit-based church approach where 2 or 3 prophets can speak in a service and others
Right.
give feedback.
So NAR leaders will talk about the schools of the prophet, like schools of prophet. That language is used in the Old Testament. I think a better translation for that or understanding of that is that they were communities of prophets. We talk about that. This, I think, in our first book, A New Apostolic Reformation, ? But so not that they were schools where, not like Bethel schools of supernatural ministry where prophets were going for training and to learn to become prophets. It was more like communities of prophets. So that's how many, like, I think Bible scholars would understand that. And then you asked about the like where 2 or 3 prophets are supposed to evaluate in 1 Corinthians 14. Yeah, so the view that New Testament prophets can err in NAR, the thing that complicates things is that so Wayne Grudem, to go back to Wayne Grudem, you mentioned him earlier today, has popularized a view that has become pretty much the dominant view among charismatics, that the people with the gift of prophecy today can make mistakes when they prophesy and still have the gift of prophecy. So that was a gift, or that was a view that's a view that's been popularized by Wayne Grudem. It's maybe the majority of charismatics, probably the majority of charismatics actually believe that you can have the gift of prophecy and make mistakes when you prophesy and still have the gift. The thing is, Wayne Grudem, though, was not talking about the office of prophet. He's actually clear that he's not talking about the offices. But so he wasn't saying someone that claims to have a formal office of prophet that's authoritative, that directs the church. He wasn't talking about that. But what NAR leaders have done is they've kind of latched on and to like Wayne Grudem's view in defense of their view. And they'll say, well, New Testament prophets in the office can also err. And so it's important to recognize, first of all, that NAR leaders aren't just talking about a gift of prophecy, like in 1 Corinthians 14 that you cited. Like they're actually talking about an office. It's a different thing. I mean, they believe in a gift of prophecy too, but that's just like what the ordinary Christians in NAR can have a gift of prophecy, but it's not like an office like the leaders have. So, I would say though about like let 2 or 3 prophets speak and the others evaluate, that passage you said, what was said. I don't think it's saying there that means that it's okay if someone gives a false prophecy. I don't think that's any indication the test has changed. I actually think that's a demonstration of using the same test from the Old Testament, that you're still evaluating the prophecies. It doesn't say there, and if they get it wrong, that's okay. They just got it wrong. It's no big deal. It says, let 2 or 3 prophets speak and let the others test their words. That's what it says. So that test seems to be upheld. That Old Testament test seems to be upheld there to me.